Portugal has been one of the most influential countries in the world. Not so much because of its size, but more for its incredible talent and passion for exploring. Today, it's a traveller's gold mine, and we've arrived here with Scenic to explore Porto, one of her most popular cities. Portugal is a relatively small country, but it has an enormous history. So when you come here, you get to explore all these amazing monuments and architecture. But what I find more interesting is that it has this really raw energy. It's a little bit rough around the edges still, but that is what makes exploring this place so amazing. Bells and whistles have never really been Porto's thing. This city is all about tradition. Over the last few years, its reputation as one of the country's must-sees has given the city a huge revival, and the World Heritage listed Old Town is one of her key attractions. Everywhere you turn, there's something incredible to see. From the beautiful Sao Bento train station to the Sé de Porto Cathedral, which overlooks the colours of the city. Just outside of Porto, Scenic also show us some of the area's amazing sights. The ancient town of Óbidos dates back before Christ. Its unique houses line the narrow streets, and it's one of the country's best preserved medieval towns.
Hello.
Hello.
Here is your ginginha.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
Ta. Now, all the different little Portuguese villages have their own specialty, and this is ginginha, which is a cherry-based liqueur served up in a chocolate cup. Oh, geez, I don't know if you want to have too many of those while you're on tour. The Cathedral of Our Lady of Remedies is also one of the highlights, and took nearly 40 years to complete. The enormous staircase stretches all the way to heaven, or that could be hell, depending on your fitness level. But history doesn't always take the shape you'd expect. The Lelo bookshop is a Porto landmark with quite a story. If you haven't guessed it yet, this was the bookstore that J.K. Rowling based her Harry Potter novels on. She was an English teacher here in Porto, and apparently she would come here, surround herself with all this magic and get inspiration for her books. You literally feel like you have just stepped onto the set. One of the oldest and arguably the most beautiful bookshop in the world. It's visited by thousands of people every day, all coming to reconnect with the creative masters. A trip to Porto, though, wouldn't be the same without getting a little insight into the area's famous wine. As the name suggests, this was the birthplace of port. And in the Callum cellars, the rich traditions are still practiced today. And what a great place to wrap up another scenic day in Portugal.